Yeah, Batya, I was thinking of you last night because I was in the hall and JD Vance was reading a speech that I think that you wrote for him. I'm not entirely sure, but that was the siren call to Batya Ungar Sargon. What did you make of the speech? Well, I was kind of cringing in moments. I knew you were getting, flush and getting excited.
It was incredible. The transformation of the GOP from the party of foreign wars, free trade, the Chamber of Commerce, the Country Club, and social conservatism is complete. It is now the party of socially moderate people, no more foreign wars, no more free trade, and supporting workers. It is now the pro-worker, anti-war party in America, and J.D. Vance, both as the pick and in his speech, really laid that out.
Yeah, but we had a conversation about this on Monday, a piece that you wrote, saying, hey, and it was for the Free Press, by the way, don't kick Joe Biden off the ticket. It's a coup. It's a soft coup. It's like being in Venezuela. And guess what? The coup, according to our previous guest, Mark Halperin, is happening this weekend, and Joe Biden is going bye-bye. What do you make of that now after that piece?
Definitely the pressure of the coup is back on. I don't know if it's going to happen, but here's the thing, okay? It is both 100% the case that Joe Biden cannot defeat Donald Trump and probably should not be president right now, and the case that the Democrats made their bed, they lied to the American people about this for 4 years, and now they have to lie in it. You can't just appoint a new person when you realize that your guy is losing. It is absolutely ludicrous because they got found out that they were masking the situation and hiding the truth from the American people. So I stand by what I said. I still feel that way. I don't think that it contradicts that Joe Biden is totally incapable of being president right now.
Batya, how bullish are you sort of being at the RNC? I saw you say in a news hit somewhere that it felt like an almost like spiritual revival. I wanted you to expand on that. And also there's people who are, watching this and watching the betting markets and sort of the state of the Democratic Party, which just is in shambles right now. Who knows where they'll end up by August 19th in Chicago. But right now it seems like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are poised to pull off like a landslide. How does it feel to you? And who could the Democrats put up? Let's assume Biden does get out of the race, as you call it, a coup. Let's assume the coup happens. Is there anyone on the Democratic bench that you think has a chance of beating Trump?
I think that anybody who wants a political future should decline the offer to run only in order to lose against Donald Trump. It's not a very nice thing to do to a rising star. Probably it should be Kamala for Democratic purposes because at least she, was on the ticket that voters voted for. In terms of how it feels here, it feels like a religious revival. I think the fact that Donald Trump's head was almost blown to smithereens on national television, we were almost mourning at a funeral, and instead we are here celebrating him. That is the feeling that people have, that close call, and the feeling that he's really been touched by God, the feeling that he represents more than just a political party now. And beyond that, there's this, it feels very spiritual in that it feels like even Democrats have had kind of the scales fallen from their eyes, that there's a kind of national evolution happening very rapidly in how the nation thinks of Donald Trump. The taboo around supporting Trump disappeared basically overnight. People are coming out of the woodwork to say that they support him. And I think that there's a real relief that comes with the end of gaslighting. You feel like this almost epidural sense of relief. It is unbearable to be lied to and then told that you're making it up. And I think that a lot of the people here who are sort of OG Trump supporters feel like, well, we supported him before it was cool, right? We knew he was a badass before the rest of the nation figured that out. And there's a kind of smug triumphalism to that as well.
That's the punk rock aspect to it. I know this band and you don't, and now you're buying this band. No, that's not cool.
And yet, like the ghost ship sort of continues to sail on. I wanted to pull a clip to have you respond to, Batya, from MSNBC just last night.
Question that I have on that: these two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
Isn't it exactly the same, Batya? No, not like kind of. It's exactly the same to get COVID. I got COVID recently, and it was just like being shot in the head.
Wasn't it just like dodging a bullet?
You guys, they are so unbelievably butthurt that the American people can see the truth unmediated through their blinkers and their interpretation and their lies. The liberal media is literally trying to suppress the picture of Donald Trump standing up after getting shot because they cannot stand the loss in esteem and the loss of control and the loss of power. And it really makes you go back and reread the entire Trump era differently. Everything we were told about him, it turns out to have been a lie. This is what people have been saying to me, like black Uber drivers and people in the service industry in Milwaukee and all of the people I'm still in touch with from reporting my book, Second Class. Like everything we were told about him was a lie. And who told them that? It was the media. And of course, you know, the Democrats, right, it's their job to like, you know, inflate the threat that he poses, whatever. But it's not the media's job to help them do that. It is the media's job to put to stamp that, to be objective, to give us a sense of what are the real options, not to carry on the myths of one side because it's in their interest. And that's what's happened. This moment is a media story as much as it is a political story.
Batya, we have one more clip because Donald Trump's not up yet. And I really want to play it for you because the previous one, which wasn't as crazy, but was still very crazy. And by the way, no one noticed that the conspiracy theory at the beginning of that clip, like he had 8 seconds to take a photo. It's like, wait, what? Did you just say that that was staged when he just got shot? Okay, Joy Reid. But this one, because you got so exercised about it, we want to have another one for you. And this one is even crazier. And this is Alex Wagner on MSNBC responding to J.D. Vance.
Where his 7 or 6 generations of his family are buried. And his hope is that his wife and he are eventually laid to rest there and their kids follow them. And I sort of understand the idea of sharing the burial plot, but it also it reveals someone who believes that the history that the family should inherit, and indeed the history that should be determinative in the story of the Vance family, is the history of the Eastern Kentucky Vances, and not the Vances from San Diego, which is where his wife is from and where her Indian parents are from. But in America, it doesn't always have to be the white male lineage that trumps that defines the family history, that branch of the tree supersedes all else. And I just think the construction of this notion reveals a lot about someone who fundamentally believes in the supremacy of whiteness and masculinity. And it's couched in a sort of halcyon, revisitation of his roots, but it is actually really revealing about what he thinks matters and who America is. And that America is a place for people with
Batya, I want you to respond to that, but what the fuck? I'm sorry, this is a live stream. I want to swear. What the fuck is she talking about?
I feel like I'm in a comp lit seminar freshman year, and I'm having to Google what halcyon means. But Batya, we need you to respond to that.
Yeah, that's
you guys didn't know that only white people have families and only white people love the land, right? Of course, that is the point here, right? To love the land is racist if you have one of these, multiple degrees and you have, no allegiance to any nation. You're part of this sort of cosmopolitan elite, right? Like, of course, to them, the idea that you would be attached to land is a foreign concept, and they have no way of interpreting it except as white supremacy. It's both so ignorant, but also, guys, these are the dying gasps of an industry that has failed, that has completely failed. I mean, everybody can see it now. In 2020, no one would be making fun of this. Everybody would be like, oh yeah, gosh, I didn't realize that. Yes, having a family plot of land is white supremacy, right? And now it's just being widely mocked as totally ridiculous. The days in which feeling proud to be an American is considered a racist act are over. The days in which nationalism is white nationalism are over. We are in a new era. Welcome to the new America, guys.
Batya Ungar-Sargon.
I salute you.
From the RNC, giving a stirring speech with the stick mic.
Michael, welcome to the new America. This girl is hopped up. Give Joe Biden what some of Batya Ungar Sargon is smoking, baby.
I know. 40 milligrams of Adderall and a stick mic, and we have a television show, Batya. Thank you so much. You're our favorite.